Hello,
Hey,
and
dude.
welcome to
Colour me intrigued. How's it going?
Yes.
So and so.
Yeah, pretty much. I always start the same way. I'm just like, you always ask me how I am. I'm like,
Yeah, all right.
oh yeah, I guess. I guess I'm good.
Hey guys, I've been told that we need to maybe look at the camera a little bit more, which is probably
Hey you.
a good point. Hello. But yeah, a lot of your responses are yeah, all right. But
That's just pretty much me, man. What about you? You all good?
all good. Yeah, I'm kind of getting through it. January's speeding past, isn't it?
Dude, guys.
Thank God for that.
I
It's
don't
always
know, it's-
a month that just drags on forever.
Yeah, I was about to
isn't
say, for me, it's just been like dragging and dragging and dragging.
it? Every
It's
time.
just going on and on and on. So I'm not a fan of this.
Yeah.
Let's get January over and done with.
Agreed. Nearly payday. Getting there.
Yeah, like 2 weeks' time.
Is it 2 weeks for you? Okay, I've got this Friday.
Ka-ching.
Ka-ching!
So, recently, in the world of music,
Indeed, yeah.
there's been this little. I'm pretty sure he's not a very well-known artist.
Right.
He's had a few hit singles, maybe,
Just a few.
and just a couple of like best-selling albums.
Right.
I'm not sure whether you had heard of him.
Okay,
Um,
test me. Let's have a go.
think his name's Marshall.
Marshall
Mathers.
Marshall Mathers?
Yes, I believe he goes by the stage name of Eminem.
Oh. Eminem.
Yeah, so he randomly dropped a surprise sort of album on us.
Do you know this isn't the first time we've done this as well, is it?
No, I know. Yeah, he's done it before. He literally he loves it. He just kind of loves.
Kamikaze. Kamikaze was the last one, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I think so.
Yeah.
He literally just loves like, right, here's some music and there you go.
Okay, before we go into this one, what did you think of that last one? Did you listen to it, Kamikaze?
No,
Because that was, let's say, a year ago, something like that.
I think I listened to the Kamikaze like track,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I might have listened to one or two other songs from the album, but I'm not a fan of new
Eminem. This
No, I
is the thing, right? Okay, I had a discussion about Kamikaze. Apparently, that album is good if you understand the beef that he's dealing with different rappers. That's not what makes Eminem great. I was kind of like, well, then it's missed like a wider audience and therefore not that good. It should be still relatable. And the best thing about Eminem was that when he was at his prime, he was able to talk about like real issues, but also make them relatable. Maybe talk about the darker side of them within his lyrics.
Yeah.
I guess there was Love the Way You Lie, which kind of glamorized like a relationship where you're kind of beating on each other. That was a bit of a weird one actually, because you're kind of thinking, should you be doing this? It's normalizing it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Now. Anyway, so we got Kamikaze come out, and now we've got, what's this new one called? Inspired by Alfred Hitchcock, he said. Music to
be murdered.
by.
Yeah, something like that. So I've got a couple of different takes on this.
Go on. Okay.
Okay, so first take is I really don't like new Eminem, and by new Eminem I mean anything past like anything he's done in the last like 15 years.
Yes. Yeah.
Is my
Wait,
honest
15?
opinion.
I'm trying to think. What's in the last 15?
Anything from I think when he did Encore, anything from Encore.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah.
is just crap.
So you didn't like Recovery? Recovery was a big one. I like Recovery.
Didn't like it.
Spacebound. He's done some good stuff after that, but that was the last one I liked, and that was
Just no. I didn't. Okay, I didn't mind when he did Relapse because it was
Relapse, right? Yeah, there was a
stupid.
couple of good ones on that.
It was stupid Eminem.
But there was still a lot of stupid Eminem, which we like. That's something we never get any of.
I really I hate super serious, super stone.
Oh wait, you're missing one. You're missing Rap God.
Yeah, that was from the
That was recent.
Marshall Mathers LP, I think.
LP2.
Yeah, I think
That
so.
was
I think
recent
it
though,
was off
so you that's not included in the stuff you like, because that was honestly everyone went, that's impressive.
that. Okay, right. So by what I'm saying, of like, he's not released a good album in 15 years. I just mean in terms of me personally, he's had a couple of good songs, fine.
Right.
But the majority of his tracks
Got
are
it,
just
okay.
snoozeville.
Like because themselves as well. Because back in the day he was very good at telling a story, but not just in the song, but within the album.
Yeah.
I think that was
So-
what made him so great, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. I like it when the whole album flows together and when you have the little interludes and stuff like that. But he still does that kind of thing now. Mm-hmm. But it just doesn't have the same panache that it used to.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, there's always. I don't know. How can we sort of compare him? Say in boxing. I don't really know a lot about boxing. You don't know a lot about boxing.
Not at all.
If we take it in the sense of like, it's always better. An underdog story is always better to listen to than someone who's at the pinnacle and they're just kind of going along. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like Rocky.
Yeah, so it's
Rabbit in 8 Mile.
So it's always better to listen to an underdog coming up. And I feel like his music, when he was an underdog and when he was coming through, is a lot better because he's fighting and clawing to get to the top, and he really doesn't give a shit what he's saying.
Yes, that's true.
I appreciate the fact that most of the time he was on drugs and stuff like that, and obviously now he's probably a lot cleaner, a lot healthier, blah blah blah, and he's probably feeling a lot better about himself, his family, and all that kind of stuff. I appreciate that and I get that, but taking that out of the picture. I don't feel like his music's as good.
Yeah,
and I know that's a really harsh take to have.
Dude.
But I just don't feel like his music is as good now as it was back then. I feel like the contributing factor will probably be because maybe he is just happy. Maybe he's just a happy.
I can't imagine Eminem just happy, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with you, but maybe he is just a happy guy now.
He's just a happy chappy. But he's pretending to be angry about like other rappers' beef and shit like that.
So this is what I mean. Like he just feels like he's a happy guy, but he's just, like you say, he's just manufacturing this hate.
Oh, but the thing is, okay, if you're Eminem now, why do you keep going? That's what I keep thinking. Why does he keep releasing music? He loves making it, clearly. And honestly, it doesn't feel like there's... Maybe there is pressure on him by the record label to finish a contract deal. Maybe we should look this up at some point. But does he just want to keep making music even though he's run out of inspiration and hope that there's something amazing that will come out of it?
Yeah, potentially. So that's kind of my first take on Eminem. And then I actually listened to the new music.
Go on.
And then I actually watched one of the new videos.
Ooh, I didn't see the music video. Okay.
It's like a proper official video. I think it's the first single out from the album.
Okay.
So the 3 songs I listened to, or the 2.5 songs I listened to, one's called Darkness. I believe that's the kind of big single of the album.
Right, okay.
The other one was called... Fuck it, can't remember what the other 2 are called.
Okay.
But let's just take the one.
Tell me about Darkness. Yeah.
Okay, so Darkness. I think the video is around sort of 6 minutes long. The song's probably about 4.5 minutes or so.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
The video is set through someone else's. So Eminem is rapping and singing and stuff, but he's talking about being in someone else's head, in someone else's shoes. You're led to believe that this is Eminem.
Right.
So it's someone in the same kind of attire that Eminem is wearing.
Okay, yeah.
When it cuts to him rapping and singing and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's in a hotel room. Guy's got his hood up the whole time. And yeah, you're kind of led to believe it's Eminem. He's having a bit of a struggle with himself. He's not sure what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then he's talking about going fucking shoot some people. And yeah, in the video, like, hood down is some fucking old guy, and he literally goes...
I know where you're going with this.
He goes on a shooting spree.
No.
He goes on a shooting spree, kills loads of people. Not really sure... Can't really remember how much you see, but you do see, like, I think there's some graphic content in there. And then the music video ends with this guy, like, putting a gun, snapping it back, putting a gun in his mouth, killing himself. And then, this for me was the really, really interesting bit of the video. It ends with what's supposed to be a real life, or I don't know whether it is real life.
Way.
News videos, but it's kind of like a one of those edited news footage thingies.
Right, yeah.
Of like another school shooting, another gun shooting in such and such place in America.
Right, okay.
And there's this really, really cool shot as the video finishes with Eminem in front of a TV screen.
Okay.
and he's watching the TV, and it says, but similar thing to what I just said.
Yeah.
Police shooting in such and such place, and then the camera's sort of zooming out, and then you see that there's loads more TVs, and they're all of the same thing. So they're all of mass shootings, but they're all in different places. You get the audio as well, so of all different news reports saying, oh, we've got a shooting here, blah blah blah, and then it pans out, and then all the TVs are set up, all the TV screens are set up in the shape of the American flag.
Wow.
And
what
then
point that is.
all of the images change, so they all kind of link up to be the actual American flag, so the stars and stripes.
Right.
And then the end of the video is all kind of like, you need to vote now to change American gun laws and stuff like that. So I started the video. I started listening to the song and listening to the video. I was just kind of like, standard Eminem stuff, like this boring new stuff. There's not really much point to it. And then you get to the end of the video, and I was just kind of like, I understand this. I feel like that has a purpose.
Good.
And like that really, for me, that really resonated with me.
That's so
and
true.
I was really impressed. And I was like, if that's how he feels, and that's what he wants to shed some light on.
Yeah.
Fucking more power to him, honestly. I really, really appreciate
So
that.
maybe what we're saying, because it goes with what I just said, doesn't it? About when he does tackle bigger issues than himself and other rappers. I don't. Clearly, there's an audience for this kind of like beef between rappers. For me, it does absolutely nothing. It really is just like.
I think maybe if you're in another place and maybe you're in one of these cities where these rappers are from, and you can kind of. You're in the zeitgeist of that, and you understand, what what the beef is and everything like that. Then fine, but
you need to be a follower of rap.
If you're not a local,
then
I
think that's the thing. Eminem needs to realise there's people like us who don't really know all like the insides and outs of rap, but they do know Eminem as what he was and what he built himself to be, actually, as like this global figure, as this international speaker of people's rights and what he believes in, and etc., but also just that angry young guy that's like trying to break out of a situation. But he doesn't do that. So anyway, I'm glad to hear that he's tackling some more deeper issues. But was this what? Because this is the thing that I heard was gets criticism for the Ariana Grande bombing.
Yeah. So.
But that's not linked with this, no.
No. So that's another track on the album.
Right.
I can't remember what the track's called.
At first, I thought you were going to say the music video. He's the bomber. That's what you're kind of led to believe in the other song, that he's going to be the shooter, right?
Stuff, but it's revealed not to be him.
Okay.
And then in this other song, I listened to it and I was reading up about it, and it's pretty much just there's a lyric in the song where he says about I don't know, it's kind of like a well placed like little rhyme, and it's just he name drops Ariana Grande and the bombing. And loads of people have come out and criticised it and been like, it's awful, there's no point in it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I read was the mayor or MP or whatever in Manchester come out and said that Eminem's trying to ride the fame of Ariana Grande. And I was like,
whoa,
what? You may have a bit of a point with the lyrics.
That's unbelievable.
Stupid.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be like, don't put your nose in here, mate. This is not your
not your jurisdiction.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was really stupid. But yeah, so some people are a bit annoyed about it, but then I'm pretty sure people were annoyed about the last time he name dropped. He was talking about Columbine. So it's one of the really infamous.
Eminem does, isn't it?
It's one of the really infamous school shootings in America.
It was.
He name dropped that on one album, then he name dropped it again on this Marshall Mathers LP2, and he name dropped a name drop, if that makes sense. So he mentioned in a lyric in a song, oh, I spoke about this before and you wouldn't play my song on the radio. And it's like, I'm going to mention it again. Are you going to play my fucking song now?
That's good.
So, you know, he's kind of, it's cool back
He
to
just doesn't give a
stuff.
shit about saying something controversial. And this is the thing, people keep going, how dare he say something that people don't like? And then you kind of go, that's what he does every single time.
I really think.
And it's always headlines like that. It's crazy. Yeah.
I really think he can care less.
No.
But that's kind of my take on it. Not really a massive fan of new Eminem, but if it's got a point to it and it's got a point to prove, like how it seems like with this new music video, fair play. I'm game for that and all for changing, you know, like gun laws and gun policies and stuff like that in America. We don't really have that much to worry about in the way of that in England. This is the thing,
isn't it? They're the only country that still has this, I believe.
I think there's other countries where it is legal to own a firearm and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it's legal to own a firearm and have a license and stuff like that in England.
Okay.
But we don't have the same culture as America, and it's always been a massive problem.
You went over there, didn't you? And you can literally walk into a supermarket.
You can go into a supermarket,
grab your ammunition,
like a Tesco's or a Sainsbury's or something, and buy a gun.
It's just so easy. It's easier than buying like alcohol or cigarettes. Yeah. It's crazy.
But yeah, so you know, if you guys have any hot takes on that, then feel free to give us a comment on this topic. Okay, this brings me on to a really good kind of segue here, because Ariana Grande, some of her fame, right? This is my controversial point for the week. Oh god, here we go.
Did you hear
Stan's hot take?
Yes. Did you hear Thank You Next? It was a song cut right after Mac Miller died.
I'm violently
about Mac Miller.
I'm violently shaking my head.
Okay. Right, so the thing is, that song was all about like thank you to my ex, because she's learned something from this relationship and now she's moving on. Thing is, what they're not telling you, so Mac Miller just had a posthumous album come out,
right? And
it's everything I wanted it to be. It's really, really like, I'll tell you a bit about Mac Miller. So he died last year when he was 26, and the guy's been so prolific. His rap career has just been incredible, and he's always done it like kind of on his own, almost like self-produced at the very beginning, and then worked with who he wants to, and not really cared about, you know, like what the industry wants him to do. He's always changing. Each album is different in its own sense, so some of it's more rap based, and as it got to the end, he had like an album called Swimming, which was just a more mellow Mac Miller than we've ever seen before. And this was kind of like telling you maybe he's kind of, you know, he's going through a rocky time. But yeah, so the story with Ariana Grande going out with him is that I think it was a matter of weeks, like 2 weeks after they broke up, she was with this guy Pete Davidson, and I think they were just about to, they'd announced their engagement like a month afterwards.
Wow. Okay.
And the thing is, right,
any time.
This is my problem with that, right? Thank you to my ex. Okay, yeah, nice of you to say that after he died, and you can make millions off of it.
Right, okay, so you feel like she's just released it
for the reason that she knew him in some sense, and that she knew that there was a relationship.
So just trying to cash in on someone
else's. I think so, honestly. And I think the fact that Mac Miller would have been absolutely crushed. Anyone would. Like, girls, if you're listening, this is the reason so many guys get pissed off, is because, I'm not saying all girls do it, but a lot of girls just jump from guy to guy, and that's what gets us really riled up. Going 2 weeks and then going with some other guy.
And then getting engaged. Stan's hot take of the week.
Yeah, okay. And
fuck you, girls.
So, yeah, I'm not saying that. But anyway, I just thought her fame from that song was ridiculous. It's her biggest selling song. It's got like something well over 100 million listens. This is where that guy's going. Maybe he's jumping on Ariana Grande's fame, and it's like, okay, she's famous, but is she really that famous?
Is she that famous?
Anyway, so the album itself, dude.
Yeah.
It's called Circles. It's honestly everything I wanted it to be, in the sense that it's not so much rap. It's slowed down Mac Miller. It's looking at, there's a couple of like real sort of everybody's got to live, everyone's got to die. and there's a lot of kind of him really taking things kind of from a very pondering perspective.
Yeah.
The one music video I saw is called Hands On. Beautifully produced. Like, whoever produced this album, I think maybe like Beatles and like, you know, the classic pop music.
Right, okay.
Because it's really beautifully produced, but Mac himself is able to like come out and say like things with a heavy heart but optimistically. And the music video, it's just him playing everything and just sitting in the studio and just being such a part of the entire process. And it's something I respect so much in a musician nowadays.
Yeah, so you feel like he was very hands-on with...
Very hands-on. He didn't give a shit what people wanted him to do, and he kept changing things. He also said in an interview that every album he gets through, he's then already got another concept in his head that he wants to move to.
Yeah.
It's always like this, let's see how that turns out. Like, it's never something that's so... what's the word, like rudimental or structured or anything. So I'm really happy with this album. A couple of great tracks. He's got some good features on there, but nothing too like featured around that feature, which I think you could maybe say about Eminem nowadays, which is the fact that I've got Ed Sheeran on this album, guys. Guys, listen to this. I've got
please, he's popular, isn't he? Let's get him on there.
See, this is it, and it shouldn't be that way. It just shouldn't be that way.
No, of course.
Although that one track with Ed Sheeran on this new Eminem album was quite good. But yeah, it's the name over the content, isn't it? So that's the problem. Other than that, so we had Bombay Bicycle Club who released a new album. Have you listened to them?
Are you gonna hit me if I say no?
Yes.
I think for me they're just one of the indie bands that kind of just blend into the background.
Yeah, I agree.
I could probably sing you along maybe 3 or 4 of their most popular songs, but I couldn't name you anything.
When I say I agree, I thought that for a long time. Yeah. This is the thing, and I saw them right before. Oh, by the way, I was going to say, I saw Eminem live, and he made a big statement then, which was, I think, the year Donald Trump got elected, and he went, fuck Trump, and he got every single person in that audience at Reading Festival to say, fuck Trump, fuck Trump. And actually I thought, good on you, like, at least you're standing up for something. And he really
I do think he's very, he did a whole rap about Trump I think it was when Trump got elected or something.
Oh, was that? The freestyle.
It was in a car park.
Yes, I do remember this.
Yeah.
So angry.
Very angry.
But yeah, the weird thing about that gig, right? The audience started not concentrating on the actual gig itself, because this guy, topless dude, just completely fucked out of his head, decides he's going to climb up one of those structures that's kind of like right across the crowd from everyone.
Yeah.
And he's got to the very top of it, and he must have been 50 feet up, like level with the actual stage height.
And he's just safe.
And it was definitely not safe, because everybody around and security was just there going like, and they didn't want to climb it, so they just left him there, and he started doing crazy shit on top of it. Like, he hung himself off of it at one point, and then he's kind of like jumping around on it. It's a very small platform. Everybody just kind of giving him the attention that he did not deserve for being an idiot. But it was just like this drama of, is he just going to get to spend the gig up there? And they just sat there and enjoyed the rest of the gig from 50 feet up. Like, kudos.
What's the point? Why even bother?
Yeah, this is the thing. But anyway, so Bombay Bicycle Club, they have been slowly making a name for themselves in the indie scene. Like, they've now got a real sound, and you can, like, each album they're just defining that sound out a little bit more. It's kind of like a happy poppy indie vibe, but it's always got like a deep kind of sound to the lyrics with the optimistic sound of the actual tune.
Yeah.
So the two go against each other, but they work so nicely. So there's one on this album called Everything Else Has Gone Wrong, and it's kind of like this really great little catchy riff. Yeah. But then him saying that, so it kind of gives you an idea of what the album's like.
Yeah, so it's a real sort of juxtaposition.
Yeah, exactly, completely, and It's a great album. Really, really enjoying it. Yeah. It's got a lot of like hard hitting lyrics with some upbeat stuff. So check it out.
Hit of the week.
And what else have we got? Okay, so we've had a few Tame Impala tracks. Tame Impala are one of, for anyone that doesn't know, my favourite band probably.
Oh really?
One of them, and they're kind of like psychedelic rock.
Yeah.
They've taken it to another level in recent years, but the main reason I used to love them was because they gave me such an inspiration, because it was all Kevin Parker, who is the lead singer and guitarist.
Yeah.
He did everything. He literally did, and even the drumming on the first couple of albums, everything you hear is him. And these are not simple songs. Everything is so complexly put together.
That's quite good. I've got like a lot of appreciation for artists that do a lot of their own stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not really a massive fan of, I'm Beyonce, here's 50 writers that just this album.
This is my big thing, right? It has to be organic, or I kind of just don't want to listen to it anymore. Yeah. That's the thing. And with this, it's super organic. But this next stuff, I think, guys, I want you to let me know what you think if you are a Tame Impala fan, because it just seems to have been taken on another. It's more poppy than the last record, and I have a friend who's like a massive fan of the first two albums. They've now only done 4 out. This will be their 4th.
Yeah.
And the third one, it just like it slowly got less and less away from this quite raw sound, quite psychedelic, fast-paced kind of rock sounding, to more of a slowed down, easy to digest, like more, what would you say, like headlining festival sound. I think that's what they went for.
They're just trying to make it onto the radio.
They tried to make it onto the radio, and it helped massively. I mean, they headlined Coachella last year. They've done amazingly with what they have. It's now been 4 or 5, actually 5th year we're now on without any other music from that third album.
Yeah.
But they're drip feeding this to us, and from what I've heard now, I really am a bit dubious. I think a lot of fans out there.
Do you feel like they've sold out?
Do you know what it sounds like? I saw a couple of Instagram posts from him, and it sounds like he said something like, "Sorry for the delay on this, guys. I am getting this as done, but it's just," like he released a track and said the drum sound alone took over a year or something like that, and you're just there like, wow. And he goes, "Bottom line is, I just want to give you something that I can really say is like something I'm proud of and that you'd want to hear, and I've given my all to." It sounds to me like what he's saying is, it's been really hard for me to feel inspired. And do you know what? I think that it does go. The thing is with having that kind of like fire and that maybe like a little bit of depression. Sometimes we've said it with Eminem, is the fact that then you have an ability to be very creative. And it brings that fire out of you.
Yeah,
and he had that back then. Like, imagine sitting there playing every little thing on this record and coming out with this. Honestly, dude, it's a concept album that everyone should listen to. It's really different. It feels like a roller coaster. It honestly has these amazing rushing moments where it really builds up to something and then lets you drop.
Yeah.
It's incredible. But now it's more. There's one called Posthumous Forgiveness. And it's actually my favourite of the new stuff, but at the same time, dude, I'm kind of thinking it's not it's not something you would really want to write a song about, whatever he's on about, and it comes across that way. A lot of the lyrics are now fading into the background. Do you see what I mean? Like you're not able to understand what he's on about.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna need to listen to it before I kind of give like a real big take on it.
Let me give you one that you have to listen to.
Okay, go ahead.
Alter Ego. This is the best. Okay, so it's from the first album.
Okay.
And it's called Inner Speak. But the track is called Alter Ego, and this is the one I'm talking about where it really flows. It comes and goes in these waves. And the main line of it, he says something like, "But you won't get far with that telling me that you are all you're meant to be." And it's just kind of saying, you will have this massive potential, go and use it. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it kind of encapsulates. He's there on his own, making a record because he knows that he's got to get out of this situation. He's from Australia. He's from, I think, outside of Perth. And he's just he just feels like he's not living up to things, working as a waiter or whatever.
Do you feel like, so based on what we've said, when we were talking about Eminem, do you feel like with most artists, unless they're kind of fighting to get somewhere, it's just not that great? Agreed.
I think you need to have some real. There's got to be a reason. There's just got to be a reason for you doing it, and you see it like you said, like with, let's say, Britney, like something like that, where suddenly it becomes completely out of her hands and into someone else's lap, where now she is just singing anything that they tell her to.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not going to have the same content.
Some of my favourite bands to listen to, when they've brought music out, there's been a long time between albums. One of my favourite bands back in the day was the Wombats. Yeah, I remember Wombats. When they brought out their first album.
Very indie, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, very, very indie. That first album, A Guide to Love, Loss and Desperation.
Classic.
That was real roller coaster of loads of highs, loads of lows.
Yes.
But
it told a story as well.
Yeah, every song's got a story. They've all got this, a similar theme of chasing girls when you're young and stuff like that. Yeah. Some work out well, some don't work out as well, and that is kind of what happens in life.
Yeah.
And then they kind of waited. I think it was a good sort of 3-4 years. They brought out another album. It was really good. Not as great as the first one.
Yeah.
But I'd find with bands, your second albums, it's a lot harder to bring out.
Of course, it's difficult.
So much harder to bring out a second album. If your first album's great, everyone loves it.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard to top it.
Of course.
Yeah, so the second album's good. It's not amazing. They brought out a third album, still really, really good. I'll listen to every single album, track to track, and
But what had changed, do you think, from that first initial thing?
So the first initial one, you can tell is very angsty. There's a lot of youth behind it, and you can tell they're kind of stories of love and loss and desperation.
Well, this is
funnily enough.
Okay, so I think that's a massive part of it as well. I think when you're youthful, you want to tell people about this kind of hard time you're going through, and you're not thinking about actually everybody else is having a really hard time, which I think at a certain point, maybe like 27 or something, you're looking around and you know that everybody's had a hard time in their life. But at that point, you just think, this has been really heartbreaking for me, and I want to tell you about it, whoever you are. You don't really care about the ins and outs of whether your music is going to win awards or anything, but then it becomes something else. Your motivation changes, and that's when you see things like messing up. Like you can't hear the same motivation coming through the music. It's because they're now going, well, they're having other people talk to them, they're having record producers going, so what do you think you want to do? How do you want it to sound? And there's just not the same raw urgency of getting things out there.
I think there's so if we step back to the Wombats, their first album, like I said, very poppy, very catchy, and there's kind of that undertone of just love and love and loss in the album. It's pretty much the main sort of position of it.
Yeah.
And then you see
Tame Impala, you could say the same thing, by the way.
I think the second album or the third album, one of the singles was called Anti-D.
And
if you think about the connotations of that, obviously antidepressants.
Yes.
And the song is pretty much, I remember listening to an interview with Murph, the lead in the band. And he's just like, I had this really, really tough time. Really didn't feel good about myself. And this song is about that. And it's just really serious shit. Do you know what I mean?
But it gets to you. You mean? It impacts you. Yeah.
Impacts me. In the same way that songs in the first album still kind of resonates with me, but it's just in a different way. And if you've got things to talk about, as your older self when you're bringing out more music, then fine.
Yeah.
Exact same as what I said about Eminem.
Yeah.
If you've got a reason for this music, then fine. That's cool.
We will agree with you.
If you haven't got a fucking reason, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't give a shit.
Yeah, this is it.
I don't care if your music doesn't mean anything to you. Why the fuck is it going to mean anything to me?
Yes, this is it.
One of the great quotes people come out with how do you expect for someone to love you if you don't love yourself?
Right.
How the fuck do you think I'm going to care about your music if you don't care?
Yes. Well, this is it.
Justin Bieber, do you give a shit about your next single? No, you probably fucking don't.
Exactly.
So if you don't give a shit, how the fuck am I going to care?
And I think in the last maybe decade and a half, there's been a shift of people not realising what they're doing, which is maybe just following an idol like Justin Bieber and just following that person and thinking, yeah, it's because I'm a Justin Bieber fan. But actually, it's the fact that they liked something that he was like passionate about at the beginning, maybe. Or this is a terrible example for Justin Bieber, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, everybody really loved when he was on YouTube.
He was just like so deep, and he had so much meaning. No, but you know what I mean.
Do you mean the song that went?
That's the first. As I said it, I was thinking, oh god.
Yeah, it's really got some deep, meaningful lyrics to that.
Okay, but Justin Bieber was picked up very young.
No, I get
that was
a
terrible. But you know what I mean. It's that initial. This is why I love Eminem. Yeah. It's because he said this, and I can relate to that, and he went through this tough time, and then he's picked up by a record label or whatever, and suddenly the thing is, kudos to Eminem. He's managed really well to still find a lot to say. He's never run out of enough words. Like, he just keeps saying
dude just
so
opens up the dictionary
much.
And like, let's just see what we can say next.
Have you ever seen that where he goes, I can rhyme anything with orange? Have you seen it, isn't it?
Orange.
Door hinge. Porridge. And it's so funny. But yeah, he's like, I read the dictionary every day. I learn all these words. Yeah, honestly, you can tell, mate.
Yeah,
you've done well.
I can tell. Yeah, well done, you.
His rhyming is incredible. But yes, I think with Tame Impala, we're kind of getting a bit stale here, and it shows.
Time to change it up.
Definitely time to maybe. I think he's got married. He's done his own thing. He's kind of. Maybe he should take some time out from everything and go and find out what he really wants to sing about. Do you know what I mean? Rather than, I get, you just want to be happy for a while. This is what my mate was saying, the big fan. He just said, at some point, you want to just live that life. You want to have kids, you want to get married, and you want to just enjoy life for a little bit. But at the same time, if you don't want to be making music, then don't, because it's not going to be anything that anybody's particularly going to enjoy.
Yeah, that's
I think that's what I'm kind of thinking with it. I'm thinking, is there a point in this? So we'll see. Anyway, we've only had maybe 4 or 5 tracks. Nothing yet as a spot my attention.
Okay.
But I had a couple of other. We're going quite heavy on the music this week.
Very heavy on music.
I wanted to ask you, what's your favourite ever cover of a song? Because I've realised we were talking about Elvis. I was like, does he write his own stuff? And they were like, not really. No, he's mainly covers.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow, that blows my mind a little bit. So I was like, always on my mind, Pet Shop Boys or Elvis.
Yeah. My favourite cover songs, most of them are probably going to be from the MTV Unplugged album by Nirvana.
Oh really?
Yeah, I love that album. I love the videos that go with the album. And it's quite near to when Kurt died. So there's a real sort of conflict in him, and you can see it. And it's it sucks to watch now if you're a big Nirvana fan, if you're a big Kurt Cobain fan.
Well, of course, but at the same time, it's the best thing ever. If you're a big Kurt fan.
You feel his pain.
You feel like you know him after watching that.
One of my real all-time favourite songs on that album is Where Did You Sleep Last Night?
Yes.
I can't remember who it's by, but it is a cover.
I think it must be a country artist.
Yeah, it is. So when they did covers, they didn't really do your average covers. They did shit you've barely ever heard before, which I love.
Yeah.
But Where Did You Sleep Last Night is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've spoken about it before, where when he gets to that last bit, and he's singing right towards the end. Yeah.
My God.
Where it really, really gets into it.
Don't lie to me. Tell me where Dude, he absolutely lets rip.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely
he just
lets
stops,
rip.
and
Yeah.
the whole band stops.
Yeah, the whole band stop, and they kind of stop in awe of this guy's voice and this guy's pain.
Yeah,
you can really feel it.
It's so piercing, isn't it?
But yeah, definitely.
But he kind of has a look in his eye, almost like a realization look in his eye when he does that. And you just think, did he know? Did he know that the end was coming at that point? Which is terrifying.
Other than that, I'm a real sucker for the whole punk goes.
Are you
pop
really?
series.
Yeah, I used to like.
I love all
some
of
cheesy
that.
punk covers.
So I'm not really a massive fan of pop music, but if you chuck in a punk band trying to do covers of it, then I'm all for it. I love it.
Was there one in particular that you can remember was like a big one?
If I had to pick one, I really like. I think it's a Coldplay song.
Yeah.
Coldplay, The Fray. It's a Fray song.
Oh, how does it say
over my head?
Yes,
over my head.
Day to Remember, wasn't it?
Day to Remember do a cover of it.
Yes, that was a good one.
Really good, really good. I really enjoy it.
Everyone knows me. Yeah, that was a good one.
I fucking really, really like that. That's a really, really good cover.
Yeah.
Also, I was a really massive fan back in the day when they did the BBC Live Lounge series. So they do, for those people that aren't sure what they are, BBC used to get in artists and they'd do a few songs and record them in the studio with live instruments and acoustic stuff, and the artists would usually do sort of like one or two of their own tracks, and then they'd do one or two covers. Usually brought up some real awesome ones.
I want to know how they did this, by the way. I want to know if the BBC went, here's a list of songs that we want you to either like choose from, or if they go, choose anything.
I don't know.
Because it seems like some of them are kind of like relevant to that time.
I don't know. I reckon the artists might have had a good hand in it.
Yeah.
So two of my favourites. You're gonna laugh at me when I say the second one.
Mm-hmm.
So my first one is an Arctic Monkeys one, and they cover an Amy Winehouse song.
What song?
Fuck.
Rehab. Do I know this cover?
It's not Valerie. It's not Rehab.
Oh, is it? What's that song? We'll find it, guys. We'll find it.
But yeah, so that's probably like one of my favourites off that album. And then the other one is it's really fucking stupid. N-Dubz do a cover of the Script.
Really?
And they do The Man Who Can't Be Moved, and then they do it into, I think the song's called Breakdown or something.
Oh
like
yes,
that.
I remember.
And they
Break Even.
Yeah, Break Even. That's
that's the one.
and they kind of mould those two songs into one.
I can't believe that's on there.
But N-Dubz doing something acoustic and doing the Script acoustically and meshing those two songs together.
Yeah.
It works.
Maybe it's the fact that you were just so surprised.
Yeah, I
remember thinking the same. I've heard it and I know exactly what you mean. But for me, I think... Do you know what I heard recently was Paramore doing Love's Not a Competition, but I'm winning by the Kaiser Chiefs. And it brought me back to how great that tune actually is. It's featured in Gavin and Stacey a lot. Yeah. But... I love it when an artist like really surprises you with one of their covers. If anyone knows... How do the BBC do this? Do they give them a sheet of paper? Do they say, can you choose from these?
Yeah, I'd love to know. And that song was called You Know I'm No Good.
You Know I'm No Good. I love that track.
Arctic Monkeys doing You Know I'm No Good is really, really
I need
awesome.
to see this.
My girlfriend will kill me for saying that Arctic Monkeys version is better than Amy Winehouse, but it is.
I need to listen to that. I can't wait to hear that.
So what about you? What would you say your favourite cover is?
So my favourite cover is... All Along the Watchtower.
Of course it is.
Jimi Hendrix.
Of course it is.
So
fucking good.
To be honest, when you hear this song, you go, it's a miracle that happened, because what you got there is probably, now we look back on it, it's this the roaring 60s, right? And we've got Jimi Hendrix, by far the best guitarist. I think a lot of people will say he was one of the best guitarists, one of the most revolutionary guitarists.
I think if we say from this time now, so we're in 2020, to when guitars were invented, I'm going to go with, Hendrix probably.
I mean, obviously there's going to be some amazing classical players, but at the forefront of pop culture as well.
Yeah, I'd say Hendrix is the man.
It's the ease he plays. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen like Woodstock footage. It's just so easy for him. His hands dwarf the guitar. And then we've got...
It's all along the Watchtower. It goes... Dun 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 dun
dun dun dun dun dun dun dun dun.
Great song.
And do you know who wrote that song?
It's Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan, the most genius lyricist we know now for probably the last 60 years. So, how great is it that happened? When you listen to that, it's like, it's phenomenal. It's mind blowing. So I was just listening to that the other day. I was just like, I wonder what Nathan thinks. But that is my favourite cover of all time, I believe. But
anything by Hendrix is great.
The other thing is, like I said, there is so many songs now of what are they someone else's cover? Like, who knows? This is the thing.
That's the thing. I think there's a lot of songs that you don't know these days.
They're getting like repeated.
That were repeated. I think one of my favourite ones in the last kind of, I don't know, probably 15 years now, was Gym Class Heroes. Take a look at my... No, not that one. You don't have to take your clothes off.
Oh no, I much prefer the first, the Patrick Stunt one.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that.
Take a look at my girlfriend.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that is that a cover as well.
That's a cover. Yeah, that was Supertramp. Okay. Take a look at my girlfriend.
Well, the other one as well. You don't have to take your clothes off. That's a cover as well, and I think that's really,
Gym
really
Class
good.
Heroes and N-Dubz are in your top lists.
Man,
I'm so happy for you.
As well as Jimi Hendrix, obviously.
Some real fine taste there, peeps. Some real fine taste.
I did proper big up Nirvana at the start, so let's just remember that, shall we?
Guys, he did say Nirvana. Just don't before you harass him online.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about and my favourite track at the moment, which kind of loosely fits in with Mac Miller, which I've been listening to all week, is Circles by Post Malone, which actually turns out was produced by Kevin Parker of Tame Impala.
So it's got this like together.
Yeah, that was clever, wasn't it? But it's got this massive bass riff. This is like, so one of the songs off his third album was just this huge hard hitting bass riff.
Yeah.
Sounds
very funky.
It was super funky. It was so good. And so yeah, he's managed to collaborate with Post Malone, and Post Malone kills it. It's a great track.
Fair play. I might try and give it a listen then.
Next week, and we're also going to play you some Ozzy Osbourne because he's got some new stuff out, and it's just super auto-tuned.
Dude, have you heard about Ozzy?
He's got Parkinson's.
I know, it sucks.
Do you know what someone pointed out though?
I mean, I'm not surprised. There's
it's not surprised, but they said, did we not already kind of know that he was struggling with physically,
struggling with life?
Yeah, like he was, way back in TV days, he was trembling
when
and all.
When was the Osbournes on? That was like 2004 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So that was almost, we're in between 15 to 20 years.
Yes. Yeah.
And everyone was taking the piss and kind of being like, "Oh, look at him! Oh, he's fucking stupid, isn't he?
Look how messed up he is."
He's also really old. So
yeah.
He's got some dementia or something wrong with him. And now obviously it's so it's it's big news.
Did you see him on Michael McIntyre does that his big show over Christmas time?
No, I didn't watch it.
Okay, he does what do you call it? Celebrity text all. That's it.
Oh right, okay. I think I
send to all. There we go. Celebrity send to all, and he does it for Sharon Osbourne, who really let rip at actually, by the way, and. It was really funny because she gives her her phone, and meanwhile Ozzy keeps calling on FaceTime. So he's like there, like, I'll just try and quickly get through this, and then you got Ozzy Osbourne's call, and eventually he goes, you've got to answer it, and it's just his face like, hello, what's going on? And then it's just they're like, you're here alive at the show, and shows them to the audience. And he's just grinning, and he's just like, I love you so much, Sharon. And she goes, I love you so much. And I do like, actually, it seemed very, very genuine, the fact that those two are very, very close, and they stay very close. And I think all of what I've heard of his recent stuff, which is just not made to be made, is kind of saying, I did it all for you. And that's nice, it's touching.
Yeah, that's pretty touching.
Let's move on. Oh, shit, dude. we're gonna get MCR tickets on Friday.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully, this is the thing.
Wood.
So, guys, if anyone's into My Chemical Romance, I guess you'd have heard because they've been doing like this high budget marketing, haven't they? Did you see the reveal?
Proper going
There's all like some, like some really like high class footage of like someone running through the woods, and then they were gonna
this real
do a ritual
cult feel, cult feel to it.
Yeah, and then it was kind of it's in that same vein of 30 Seconds to Mars, isn't it? Yeah. But they know what they're doing. They know that they can chuck money at this because then they can ramp up the ticket prices to 80 odd quid.
I don't feel like they need to though. That you don't need to.
I agree.
All you'd need to do is turn up on Friday. Maybe at 8 o'clock in the morning. Be like, put a poster up somewhere online and be like, right, MCR tickets going online in an hour.
Yeah. Honestly, you could totally have done that.
We're doing one fucking show. Yeah. Take it or leave it.
Exactly. I feel like it was a bit unnecessary, but. Here we go. They're going to charge 80 odd quid per ticket. I wonder what people are thinking about these ridiculously extortionate prices. Because the other thing is, guys, I want you to tell me what the fuck should I do? Because I'm here thinking, Pink Pop Festival, Red Hot Chili Peppers have just got John Frusciante back. They've also got Anderson .Paak playing, and it just looks like such a great lineup. It really looks like a very, very intriguing lineup.
Yeah, but then you've also got Post Malone and Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses.
Which I will definitely pass that.
Oh. Damn it, Kennedy.
Have you seen Guns N' Roses live before?
Never.
That's shit.
Is it really bad?
Shit.
They got a really bad reputation for like always turning up late.
Really late. So they turned up, I think, 2 hours late to their running set.
Jesus.
It's fucking shit.
And there's
literally no apology. They didn't give a fuck. It's just like...
Is it with Axl now?
Yeah.
It is.
That's why he's just.
I thought he was.
A jerk.
He was the main diva of the group, wasn't
he?
He's
a proper diva.
80 quid or 200 for a festival where you get to see 30 plus acts and it's a nice sunny place in the middle of June. I don't know. I'm really caught in between. Anyway, I'll read out the lineup in a bit.
The child inside of me, like this.
This is the thing.
This is probably. It's gonna be one of your last chances to see this band.
This is the thing. That's what they're hoping you'll think, though. Anyway, I never saw them back in the day, and I always wanted to.
Yeah, so, I never saw them back in the day.
Like Vinny says, it's for the 14-year-old in me.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's for the child inside.
We shall see. Anyway, so MCR are back, guys. I hope everyone's happy about that. I imagine they still get a hell of a lot of stick for that emo phase because they encapsulated the emo phase.
They were the kind of emo poster boys, right?
Totally.
So if we just kind of continue in the vein of recent news postings.
Go on.
Disney Plus just recently announced today, or kind of this week or whenever you'll be listening, that they've set out a launch date for being in the UK,
right?
Which was originally, I believe, meant to be the 31st of March, and now it's the 24th of March.
Okay.
They've been getting a lot of stick for it online, basically just due to the fact of like people are really pissed off in England that they've had to wait. I'm pretty sure it's going to end up being about 5 months.
God.
From the release of Disney Plus in the US to the release of Disney Plus in the UK is going to be about 5 months difference.
Do you put this?
It's just fucking crazy when you think about it. It's a streaming service, for God's sake.
You could just surely, you don't hear about that sort of thing.
So I
wonder what it is.
I'm
what
not
the
sure,
problem
but
is.
I think some of the workarounds would have been Sky, for instance. So B Sky B have got a contract with Disney.
Right.
Because you'll see a lot of Disney movies on Sky Cinema.
Right, okay, yeah.
I'm not sure whether that's sort of a big impact. But if it is, just don't put those movies on the Disney Plus in the UK.
Yeah, this is
when
the thing.
your contract finishes with Sky, put them on there.
Yeah.
People aren't going to be that pissed off about it.
That's true.
But yeah, I don't really understand it, and I'm probably going to be one of those people that sign up to get it anyway. They released the price of it as well, which is quite...
Is that extortionate?
No. Depending on how much content there is on there and how vast it is, could be could be really, really good. It's $5.99 a month.
That does sound pretty appealing, actually.
Or if you get it, if you get an annual subscription, it's £60.
Sounds good. Like that sounds good, doesn't it? Let's be honest.
Like it's a good price. I mean, it beats Amazon Prime, beats Netflix. But then I don't think the content is going to be as vast and as different as.
Yeah, so that's my question. I mean, what are the things that they're putting out there that are the things that are getting people to want to buy it?
So the main thing that's kind of brought people in...
Because people are obviously upset that it's taking such a long time, and they must know...
So the main thing that people have been, sort of clamouring at is the Mandalorian.
The Star Wars thing.
Yeah, so the Star Wars series.
It's about Boba Fett, something like that. No?
No, I'm pretty sure it's just about a Boba Fett style character.
Oh, it's not even about... Okay, weird.
So like a bounty hunter, so pretty much like Boba Fett, but not Boba Fett.
Okay.
But yeah, so people have kind of been really, really pissed off with that. Like, why the fuck am I gonna wait till the end of March?
Yeah.
You've had it in the US for 5 months.
I get that.
And if real fans wanted to watch The Mandalorian, they would have done it through unassociated means by now, which I do understand, and I do I concur definitely that if you really, really were looking forward to something and you really want to watch it, of course you'd kind of go about it in nefarious ways.
Yes.
And yeah, just people are pissed about it. Just thought I'd kind of have a little discussion with you, see what you think. Are you gonna bother getting it? Do you feel like it's gonna be worth it? Or?
So for me, I am gonna, I think, make a leap. It's weird because you know what we were saying about Netflix the other day. Although it is releasing some incredible stuff, it's not constant for me. I know there are, like, it depends what you're into, of course, but for me, it's been like a few series that I'm really waiting for. A couple of great films, maybe, but not great films because otherwise I'd seen them at the cinema, So I'm thinking of making a leap from Netflix over to, I think it's Now TV that has HBO on it. I want to get HBO because I haven't caught up on Game of Thrones. There was, what was the one? Chernobyl was on there. Yeah. And they've also got Euphoria on there. Euphoria is supposed to be
groundbreaking. So there's quite a few things you want to watch on there.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know how much you have to pay, but I imagine it's something similar to Netflix anyway. Yeah. But I also have Prime anyway. But Prime, I don't think they seem to stay as up to date with Netflix as they could do.
No, I feel like Netflix has got a lot of original content. It's got a lot of original content constantly. Yeah. That is actually pretty good. Yeah. I feel like with Amazon Prime, they do have original content on there. They don't kind of update it as well, and also it's just not. I don't feel it's as good.
Yeah, I think so.
I think the last good thing that I watched on there was The Boys. Waiting for season 2 of that. That should be out sometime this year, which would be pretty good. But I'm kind of excited for Disney Plus. I mean, the main thing for me is I'm pretty sure that I heard every single episode of The Simpsons is going to be on there.
That's a great selling point for them.
And for me, I'd be that guy. You get the people that do it now with friends. Yes. Like they'll put Netflix on. What do you want to watch? Let's just stick Friends on, and you'll just continue watching the same 10 seasons of the show. I'll do it with all the old, so the first 10, 12 seasons of Simpsons. I'll just go through all of them. Yeah. I'll be well happy. I used to love old Simpsons.
I had a friend at uni that literally just had Friends playing for the entire week. Just like, come rain or shine, like literally sat there with it just playing. And just enjoyed being in that universe, I think, because you can imagine like having second year, you're in a bit of a like not much going on phase, and he just got lost in Friends. Like he'd literally wake up with it playing and just be like, oh, just enjoy being.
I think that's the kind of thing that I put on in the background when I don't want to be lonely.
Yeah, it's a comfort series.
I'll do something else, like I'll play a game on my phone. Maybe I'll go and do some washing up. Maybe I'll just, just lay and do absolutely fucking nothing. But yeah, Friends will be on in the background.
It's one of those. It's like How I Met Your Mother. We love those two, don't we? I think it's just comforting. But with Simpsons, dude, you're committing to 30 odd series. It's not the same.
I'm gonna do it.
And plus, with Friends that all of it was good stuff. Like it was all like fairly I don't know. It matched what you expected of it.
I don't know. Those last 2 seasons are a bit fucking
they're fine. They're good compared to Simpsons, where it just loses it. They lost all their writers in the first 10 series.
It's true.
Anyway,
so continuing on with the whole US versus UK vibe, when we talk about releasing things,
yeah.
I don't know whether, I'm pretty sure you said you haven't watched this at all. The hit show Killing Eve.
Killing Eve.
So
I really want to see this.
They're going to be back in the next couple of months.
It's a show about a female. Is it an assassin?
So she's a female assassin. It's kind of like a spy thriller type show.
Okay.
Really, really good. Honestly, you've got to fucking.
It's getting amazing reviews.
It's only so typical English season wise. They only do about 6 episodes a season.
Right.
Which is really, really good.
Okay.
Because say like with Peep Show. I know it's obviously different because it's comedy, but say with Peep Show, you get 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Everything kind of is set out. There's points.
Yeah.
You get from point A
it's
to
direct.
point B.
It's quick.
Yeah, it's quick.
There's a whole narration, the story within 6
Whereas
episodes.
you haven't got something like How I Met
You
Your
don't have to
Mother,
wait
Scrubs,
for 24 episodes. It's ridiculous.
It's fucked.
America, sort it out.
But yeah, so Killing Eve is coming out in the next couple of months.
Awesome.
Now, there's chitter chatter as to how it's going to be coming out in the UK. Because once again, I think BBC have got a contract with HBO, I believe, or CBS in America, and they will potentially be getting the show early. So they've got the show early for the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
They might be getting the show early again this year.
No.
People in England are pissed off about it because I'm pretty sure it is pretty much an English show. And yeah, people are just pissed about it.
It would be, didn't it? So it started on the BBC.
I really, really like it.
Yeah.
It's really fucking good.
Yeah.
So either it's going to be a case of it's going to come out in the US in, I think, April time. Okay. And then we're going to have to wait for the whole season to finish. Oh. So it'll probably wrap up around June. And then we'll get everything on BBC.
What's the status with Rick and Morty? Is that still just going
through?
It's on
hiatus.
Oh, is it?
So they've had like a mid-season break.
And what did they stream on first? Have they done that at the same time everywhere? Do you know?
Yeah.
They have.
Well, I think we were maybe like 5 days behind or something in England.
Okay, right. That's not. That's nothing, is it? Yeah. But at the same time, you just think, why?
It really pisses me off for these release dates. You know, we had it with 1917. We're gonna Rick and Morty. We're gonna have it with Killing Eve. We had it with, when all the Marvel movies came out in the last 5 years. Some of them came out in the UK before they came out in the US, and they were up in fucking arms about it.
They hate that.
Yeah, they hate that.
US
hate
privilege.
Hate the English being first or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm really pissed off about this, but I'm really looking forward to Killing Eve. So I won't spoil anything for you because I really think you should watch it.
I'm going to. So there's 1 season out already.
No, it's 2 seasons.
2 seasons?
2 seasons. So this is going to be season 3.
Cool.
So the second season leaves you on a really, really big cliffhanger.
Ooh.
I won't spoil anything for you, but Villanelle, I can't remember the fucking actress's name. I think it's Jodie Comer.
Jodie Comer.
Yeah, something like that. She's fucking brilliant. She plays the assassin.
Assassin, right? Okay.
And she's brilliant.
Is she like a renegade assassin, or is she like employed by, I don't know, MI6?
Mate, you need to fucking watch it.
Okay, I'm just gonna watch it.
But yeah, her how she does this at all? Yeah. She can do a Russian accent. She can do a French accent. She can do an English accent. She can do an American accent.
We could do all that.
She could probably do a fucking Canadian, Scottish, South African. She can do fucking she seems really, really high.
She's a good actress.
Yeah, she seems really good. She had a little cameo in Star Wars.
Did she?
Yeah, she played Palpatine's daughter-in-law. Rey's. She played Rey's mum.
Oh, that was her.
Yeah, that was her.
I didn't realise.
But yeah, so she's fucking brilliant in this. She's so good as the main sort of antagonist and the villain of the piece. She does really. She's
like a big character, isn't she? I remember her. I feel like I saw a scene of it, and she was just being really sassy to someone. Quite a sassy character.
Yeah. And what I think is really, really good. So, give you a bit more background knowledge. Is they change the main showrunner every season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's obviously a really, really big deal for how the season plays out.
Yeah.
So the first season they had one showrunner. Second season they changed the showrunner. So, you know, the first showrunner will kind of do it from start to finish, leave it however they feel they want to.
Yeah.
And then it's down to the next person to kind of pick up the ball and be like, where am I going to go from here? And to kind of take it from A to B for the next one. So it's really interesting how they're going to do season 3 now, because season 2 left off on a cliffhanger. How this person's going to pick it up and kind of take it and go, you know, take the ball and run with it.
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued to see. But yeah,
what's the release date again?
Pardon?
What's the release date?
So I don't think they've got an official release date for it yet.
Okay.
But I'd expect there to be a trailer in the next kind of month or so, month or 2 months.
Cool.
And then I reckon it'll probably be out in, I believe it's April time in the US.
Oh, do you know what I saw just now? It's been announced for a 3rd series. It's oh no, actually it was a while back, but it was Afterlife. Ricky Gervais's last show. I actually really enjoyed it. What? 2nd series, sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Sorry,
I'm pretty sure they filmed the whole 2nd series now.
They have filmed it, haven't they?
Waiting for it to be released.
Yeah, they've announced it on Netflix officially now. Like, this is coming up.
I don't think I've watched that, to be honest.
Oh, give it a watch.
Is it worth a watch?
Yeah. No, it's a heartwarming. It's really, really sad. Like, more than anything Ricky's done before. It's like really touching, and just like about this person just getting over like absolute sort of loss of who he is, loss of anything, loss of meaning in existence, and some really great sort of like use of flashbacks, but also just like how the small characters in your life can kind of pick things up for you.
Okay,
that was a good synopsis, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, what kind of thing have you been watching lately? Anything kind of, any series or movie that you've watched maybe in the, say, sort of past week or so?
So I still have this thing with Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay, that's on like 13 or 14th season.
They are going for it. I don't know why they keep making more episodes, because honestly, when I see that, I kind of think, I can't commit to 13 series of anything. 13 series, and they're all like, it's the same as American episodes. So it's like 20 odd episodes. Wow. So you're there just like, oh, bloody hell. But ignoring that. Okay, so the first series, I think a lot of the fans will kind of discount that one in the same way as they did with the US Office, where it's not really worth watching. And the US Office is literally word for word to the UK one in the first series, and they tried to make Andy Carroll was just like really smarmy and weird. And then this one, they've got no Danny DeVito, and then Danny DeVito joins in the second series, and suddenly it kind of changes the dynamic a little bit.
Okay.
It takes some getting used to because the writing is a bit... I think they were almost like just releasing something without really knowing what they're doing with it. After a while, you know the characters at like the back of your hand almost, and they're just... It's basically some of the worst personalities you can imagine. Just every bad trait is in there for these 5 characters, and they run a bar together.
Yeah.
So Danny DeVito has had these 2 kids with a wife who's died, and then
spoilers.
And so they're all kind of from that same ilk of just having his traits, I guess, which is just awful. Like Danny DeVito is always on about banging whores, and. And they're just like...
Yeah, definitely sounds like Danny DeVito to me.
Yes. It's a funny one. It is a funny one because it grows on you. You won't see it coming. And then suddenly I've got to the 4th series, and there's a episode called The Night Man Cometh, which is a favourite with fans, where Charlie, who is Charlie Day, who you'll have seen in... Horrible Bosses, yeah.
Chef's kiss to him. I love him.
Do you know what else is it in... What's it called? Going the Distance with Justin Long. I love Justin Long.
Yeah, I love
one
Justin
of my favourite
actors. Justin Long's really... Have you seen... Did you ever see Tusk?
No, I didn't.
Oh, mate. Fucked up. Kevin Smith movie.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fucked up.
Is that Justin Long?
Justin Long becomes a walrus.
What?
He gets abducted by... I can't remember the fucking guy's name.
Were you high?
He's in another Kevin Smith movie called Red State. And he plays this weird fucking parishioner guy.
But yeah, so Justin Long gets abducted by this guy and he gets turned into a walrus. It's a fucked up movie.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith has come out and said it's a fucking weird ass movie. But yeah, it's
It's
fucking
like,
crazy.
I don't
It's
know
so
what
weird.
I was thinking when I wrote this, but
Yeah.
you guys can have it.
Pretty much. It's fucking
Kevin
weird.
Smith is a
I
great
believe
one.
he... Oh, what was it? So he does podcasts, and it was basically, I think a fan gave him an idea, or maybe someone that he did the podcast with, they kind of were just speaking about it, about weird ideas, and that was what they came up with. So yeah, it's fucked up.
Kevin Smith is a good example of just organic, like purely. I'm not listening to what you guys think. I'm just gonna make something that I'm gonna run with.
Yeah.
I've thought up and I'm just gonna run with because I think it's original more than anything. More people like that need to be doing stuff. Anyway, so Always Sunny gets the 4th season, and I'm suddenly kind of really enjoying it. It's just one of those you can put on. You don't have to really be like invested in it. Although I like what they do, which is occasionally harken back to previous episodes, because in every episode something goes either horribly wrong, or they fuck someone over, or just like the last one I watched, they try to go on a road trip out of Philadelphia, but they don't make it out of Philadelphia. They're just like every single thing that could possibly go wrong goes wrong because they're awful people and they make terrible decisions at every turn.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe give it a watch. Anyway, other than that, I've finally got round to watching some of The Irishman.
Oh wow. Only some.
I see what you mean. It goes on much too long that I'm already, there's like these really long dialogues where you're like, I don't care, just don't care. And then the thing is that I'm like an hour and 20 in, they're just still introducing more and more bad guy characters.
Yeah.
And you're kind of getting to this point where it's like, okay, now I don't care. And they're all doing like horrible things. I like the thing where they're kind of the trope of introducing someone by saying how they died. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
He got shot in the head in 1979.
Yeah, I like that.
That was clever, but okay. I don't really. I'm not. I'll see. I'll review it once we've got to the end of it. But so far, I'm just thinking too many dodgy characters that I don't particularly invest in, and just why did it need to be this long?
Just nothing happens.
Also, did you have to watch it with the subtitles on?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Might want to have a look at your TV, bro.
No. I chose that option because as soon as it starts, you get Robert De Niro going. You're like, Like, I was watching with people. All of us went, did you catch that? No, nothing. Not one word. Because he's an old guy. The thing is, you got Al Pacino going, and it's just like, none of it. I have to watch it with the subtitles on. You'd let us know, guys. Did you watch it with the subtitles on? Because it seems like you need to.
So, what I have been watching.
Yeah, what have you been watching?
Only just came out, I believe, on Friday. Started streaming. I've already finished it because I fucking love it. Netflix series Sex Education.
Yeah, I've been really tempted by this.
I'm probably too old to gain enjoyment from it that I am, but I really like it. It's fucking hilarious.
Is it quite? It's maybe aimed at teenagers then.
Yeah.
I saw the main cover photo was kind of someone putting a condom on a banana, and I was like, maybe this is meant for people younger than me.
Well, you say that, but I'm pretty sure the age rating on it is 18.
What?
So
That's surprising.
The second season, 100% definitely has an age rating of 18.
Holy shit! I did not realise this. So it's meant for
Very
adults.
graphic.
Wait, these are kids.
Dude, the thing's called Sex Education.
Wow, it's really gonna go into it like that.
Well, not like you don't see,
Yeah.
teenagers fucking, but.
Well, I'm just wondering how
actually,
it's graphic. It's called
dude, I'll
Sex
tell you what,
Education about teenagers.
Tell a lie, you do see teenagers fucking, but obviously they're not teenagers because they're. I don't know. We're getting off topic. Anyway, the whole fucking premise of the show is, it's kids, 15, 16-year-olds, whatever the fuck they're meant to be, in school, and hormones are flying about, and it's just how do they deal with that, cope with that.
Right.
That's pretty much the premise for every. That's the premise for every kind of
high school movie. Yeah.
Kind of
So true.
School series or something, isn't it? But this one's really, really good. It's really different. I'm very confused as to when the fuck.
Yeah, but why is it different?
Well, let me fucking get to it, mate.
Okay. All right.
I'm very confused as to when it's meant to be set.
Uh-huh.
So, for example, did you ever used to watch Saved by the Bell?
No, I didn't. I missed that one.
Okay, I'm trying to think of something. Okay, so the outfits,
Uh-huh.
the outfits that all the cast wear,
Yeah.
the places that they visit,
Uh-huh.
the cars that they drive, are all very, very 80s, late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
They're very vintage. All
Cool.
of the
Sounds cool.
aesthetic
Yeah.
is very vintage.
Yeah.
But then mobile phones are used,
Mm.
laptops are used. It is set in the modern day, but it's got a vintage look to it and a vintage aesthetic,
Weird.
which makes like it
So
is
it's like
weird.
You're
It's
thinking, is this
weird.
like a dream sequence thing?
Yeah,
Is this-
I'm a bit. It's that's what
Like
I
the
mean.
good life.
Kind of it puts you not puts you off, but it
Mm.
kind of you're kind of like, what? This doesn't make sense. Because I remember I completely
What a weird
I
one.
watched the first season. I kind of skipped over the season recap thing that they do for a second season, and then I went straight into the second season. And I was watching it. I was like, oh yeah, this is like set in like the 80s or something, isn't it? And then the guy whips out a mobile phone and he's texting a friend. I was like, what? I don't.
What?
And then I was like, oh wait, yeah, that's it. It's kind of set in a weird time that's seems like a parallel universe, kind of.
I'm intrigued as to know why they did that, because maybe there's a reason to like disassociate it with
Yeah.
reality a little bit.
Potentially.
Or
Yeah,
but maybe that's to save the backs a little bit. Maybe there's stuff in there they don't want to say, this is stuff happening. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. So
Or maybe it's just to make it completely different to anything else.
yeah, that's kind of the feeling that I get from it. It's just completely different to a lot of the other kind of teen dramas that you see out there. But it is really, really good. There's a lot of sex talk. There's a lot of sexual exploration and stuff like that with characters.
Right.
And in this season, they've really fleshed out all of the arc. They've fleshed out a lot of arcs for sort of sub characters. Loads of characters have other plots going on. As you know, your main character is Otis,
Okay.
and it kind of follows him. And in the first season, he builds a sexual clinic, a sexual help clinic or something, with his friend Maeve.
Maeve. Okay.
Maeve, very
Strange names
strange
as well.
names.
Yeah.
Strange names. And yeah, so that's how the first season starts. Second season, you've got, you know, it delves a lot more into the lives of the other characters around.
Okay.
But yeah, there's so many different plots going on. I really, really enjoy it. I would implore people to watch it. I'm not going to give you any spoilers or anything like that. I would just say just look out for the last episode, because as they did with the first season, in the second season, there's a real crescendo
Right.
in the last episode. They really, Netflix have this thing where you'll be watching one of their shows. It will start off really strong.
Yes.
It will really dip in the middle, and you'll kind of be like,
Oh,
"Oh my
so
god, I want to
true.
continue with this."
So true.
And then if you continue and you get to that last episode,
It rewards you.
definitely
Yeah.
the last episode is a massive crescendo.
I hate that, dude. Do you know what? I wish they'd stop doing that. I think it's such a terrible thing that we're saying we put up with it. Don't you think? To be like, yeah, they make you get through some of it so you can watch more of it. It's like clever, but at the same time, we all know that they're doing it for most things now.
I don't know. I kind of
Just
feel,
make it all
I
as
feel
good as
rewarded.
possible.
I feel rewarded when I get to the
I
end of
hate
the
the
life.
fact that there's some episodes that are. It's like having album fillers. That's the equivalent.
I would say with Sex Education with this season 2, I feel like most of the episodes have necessary plot threads that need to be there.
Okay.
And if you took them out, it wouldn't make sense.
Right.
But just final episode, if I could literally just throw a few things at you just to get you really interested in watching
Go on.
we're talking people have got dicks for hands. People have vaginas on their head.
Instead of their fingers or instead of their hands?
Instead of their hands, they've got dicks. So they've got dicks for hands.
Stumpy dicks.
We're talking vaginas on the head.
Okay, but yeah, but what?
Exactly. So this is what I'm saying. Like, it's real fucking.
Where has this come from? Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like you just gotta watch it. Honestly,
Cool.
it's really, really good. And yeah, it definitely, you know, if you had a hard time at school when it came to sex or sex education,
which most people must have. Let's be honest.
I'd say 95%.
Yeah, it was a weird one for
definitely,
everyone.
like, give it a watch. It'll probably give you a little like flutter of, oh, I remember that when I was at school. Like, you know,
Other people had that too. Yeah.
And yeah, there's definitely a lot of interesting plot threads that you got to look out
I'll
for.
give it a watch. I like the idea of it being, because it sounds like they're playing with that alternate reality thing, and it becomes more and more of a thing. But now you're gonna ruin it if you say, aren't you?
Just watch it. If you just give some of it a watch, and we'll have a chat about it another time.
All right.
But I just wanted to put it out there because it came out only a few days ago. I finished it already. Loved it. Some of the episodes are a little bit too long.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why a comedy needs to be over 45 minutes for an episode.
Oh no, I don't like that idea. I think that's too much. But okay.
Yeah, but it's good. It's fun.
Says those the people that can't talk for less than an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Per episode. Sorry, guys. Dude, it's already been loads. Anyway, I was just gonna say a couple of things. So obviously everyone knows we love Joe Rogan's podcast.
We do indeed.
JRE. So he had a couple of really interesting guests on. And one of them I wanted to hear your take on. How do you think it went with Robert Downey Jr., who has past been in interviews where he's walked out? Like, have you seen the British interviewer who just kind of questions him about all that time where he was on drugs and alcohol and just got messed up?
Really famous ITV guy, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. I know
the one you mean. Yeah,
glasses, black hair. Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Had some good insight. I don't think it was long enough.
What was the ending like, dude? The ending was so weird.
But then to be honest, I think
I know you've got a lot of stuff going on, so I'm gonna end it there. All right, bye guys.
But then you don't know what's happening the other side of the camera. I presume.
No, but the weird thing is, he goes, "Do you know what I wanted to get into?" And it's like, what? He was going to talk to you for much longer.
No, I
know.
But okay, so what I would imagine behind RDJ, you've probably got his manager or his publicist or something, and they're going to Joe Rogan, pointing at their watch.
He's got to get out of there.
He needs to go.
It's the way
he did say in there. He was there because he was publicising something.
Right.
Because you know when he talks about
Dr. Doolittle.
What's your action? What's your action?
Yes, yeah.
Which I thought was a little bit condescending, but at the same time I thought actually had a bit of purpose.
Yeah.
If you are an actor, then fine, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, he kind of said, what's your action? And then he got into what his action was that day for that meeting with Joe. And it was, what's my action today? I'm here to publicise such and such. So he's being very forefront with what he's doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I reckon with that, because it was quite short, I usually quite like the Joe Rogan podcast because they're long and you get a lot of
them talk for as long as it takes. That's
you get a lot of insight with people. I mean, there's one with Russell Brand that's about 3 hours long.
Yes, yeah.
There's one with Kevin Smith that's about 2.5
Jordan
hours
Peters.
long.
Well, actually, Kevin Smith was, I think, set a record. That was Alex. What was his name? Alex Jones. Jesus. I think he was like 3 hours. But yeah, Jordan Peterson was 3 hours, and then he did another 3 hour one. But I liked that part of it. Yeah, and I felt like he just got cut off.
I feel like that would be, you don't know what's the other side of the camera. I would say that RDJ's probably got a publicist or something there, just being like, right, it's time to wrap up now. We've got to go. We've got other places to go to.
Do you know what my favourite part of it was?
What's that?
I think I loved hearing his perspective on like the creative process and how sometimes you'll be just kind of getting out of your own way. They went into that kind of. I think that was what they're talking about, was a flow state. About the flow state of mind where you kind of just
you're doing something. Yeah, he says you don't know you're doing it.
Exactly. Like he says musicians get this a lot, and I loved hearing Joe really question him on like his philosophy within that like part of the show. But also, I thought it was nice hearing him say about Tropic Thunder and what that would have been like today. And
yeah, I did enjoy, like, they obviously both, I think it means a lot to Robert Downey, but he kind of knows that shit ain't gonna fly in this day and age,
exactly. Yeah,
I personally would love it if it came out today.
He gave that such a great advertisement because he was so passionate about the project. I never could have imagined. I thought Robert did it as a kind of well, why not? I've got nothing else going on.
Yeah.
He was really into it, wasn't he? He was really, really passionate about the whole project. He loved Ben Stiller as a director, and he enjoyed the whole storyline. I think it was really. He thought it would be a brave thing to do at the time, and that came across. I kind of thought I wished Joe would stop going on about Iron Man. A part of me was like, let Iron Man be, Joe. But at the same time, he's probably doing it for fans going, so is there going to be another Iron Man? Are you going to come back?
Okay, so I liked the way that he dealt with that. He kind of said to him, well, what do you think?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If I were to make another one, would it be the same? I think he kind of
he batted it nicely.
He brings it to like the whole if you play for a NFL team or something like that, they retire your jersey. If you're a massive player, they retire your jersey, and he's kind of likened the Iron Man thing to that.
Yeah.
So they've now retired his Iron Man jersey. If he were to pick it back up and put it on, would it be the same? And that's kind of that for me is a real take on it. It's like, no, it wouldn't, would it?
No.
He's done his time as Iron Man.
It'd be awful.
I
really wouldn't like it.
I don't mean it in a harsh way, but he's done his time as Iron Man, and he's, you know, if we'd let it go now, then he's done all he can with the character, like he said he feels he has. Yeah. And you know, if he were to kind of pick that mantle back up, would it be the same?
And also, he's like Joe said, he's owned that character. Like, although I can't see anyone else playing it, find something else.
But then
just find other characters. I
like that when Rob was talking about it, was just kind of like, you know, someone else will do it someday. It's going to get rebooted someday. And Joe was kind of like, oh, but it's not going to be the same. But, you know, like Rob Downey Jr. He knows, he's not stupid. He knows that that's kind of the way that those kind of movies and those superheroes work.
Yes.
He knows that eventually, probably one day, he's going to get rebooted. So he's kind of come to terms with it. He's not fussed about it. This is good. Yeah. You know, he obviously still enjoys the character, and he likes, he likes the inner workings of it and stuff like that. Yeah. But I feel like he's done all he can do with it, and that's great. I agree.
And Joe does this really amazing thing, which he goes, "You know, I love you," and he goes, "It's because you're giving me both points for and against playing Iron Man again." Yeah. And there was like a really lovely respect between the two people. I thought it was a good interview. There should have been more of it. Get him back, I say. Hashtag bring Robert Downey Jr. But other than that, there was a really good Bill Maher one. Bill Maher, I believe, was like one of those kind of like TV show host, kind of political.
Wasn't he the BBC guy?
No, he's an American dude.
No, that's Andrew Marr. Sorry.
No, you're thinking of Andrew Marr. Yeah, so it is.
Andrew Marr was like the war correspondent or something, wasn't he, for BBC?
That's the one. Yeah. Totally different. Bill Maher's more like a political commentator on things.
Okay.
He's sat there in that chair, and he's kind of like said his view on things. Quite a left wing progressive kind of thinker. Anyway, there was this really great part of the podcast where he says about his particular opinion on porn and whether he thinks it's benign, whether he thinks like nowadays do people not realise that has some awful connotations on what their kid is going to grow up seeing, because they're basically saying there's an age nowadays where 1 minute you have access to nothing, no extra resource, then you give them a phone and then they are able to do anything, they're able to find out anything, and it's like this moment of, I mean, as a parent it must be terrifying going, what age do I want that to happen? I mean, that's like, that really is accepting now they're not going to be a child. I think for me, I would be putting it off as much as possible. But it was the conversation of, he goes sort of like, I mean, nowadays if you look at porn, the things that happen in those, he just says, if I had a son, I would just say, this is not what women actually like. This is like a blown out of proportion version of that. Just be careful with that. Don't think that you can take what you see in this into the real world. And actually I was like, that's a very good point.
That is very good, and I'd completely agree with that, and I think that's a really good take to have.
Yeah.
My only kind of concern with that is, do you do the same thing if you take your kid to go and see the new Fast and Furious movie? Do you say to your kid, right, I know how these people drive in this movie, but when you drive in real life, that's not how you should drive. I know it's a real, like, you know, cringy take on it, but how far do we go with that?
That's interesting, actually. Yeah, I see what you mean.
How far do you take the envelope with that? Do you know what I mean?
I imagine a lot of people would do that as well, by the way. I imagine that's a very often thing. Like, they go in, they're saying, yeah, don't get any ideas from this movie, etc.
But I do agree with you on the state of porn. I think it is like a big deal that young men these days kind of see that, and they think that is how things
imagine
are.
That's how many kids growing up now, that's all they've seen, and then they go on a first date. And imagine, like, I worry for what that must be like. It's particularly for a girl if they're completely, like, they don't have any expectations, maybe. Because I imagine girls nowadays probably, it's a much smaller amount of them have been watching this stuff. And then they brought into a relationship with someone who thinks that that's the way of doing things, and they're going, I don't want this.
I kind of feel like we're the last generation that actually didn't have, like, straight up access to
this is it,
to porn,
or a premeditated version of what we thought was going to happen at that point.
Yeah,
that's a new thing, I think, and it is worrying. I think that's a massive contributor of like why so many people grow up and they're suddenly thrown into this kind of like, whoa, I was not ready for all this, because there's being a kid, and then there's that, which suddenly you're thrust into sorts of things.
I do feel the phone is the real sort of...
The phone or the internet, yeah.
You know, it's that real sort of conduit for it. Like, you know, once you've got that, you've got everything. Just like you said.
To anything.
So how old were you when you got your first mobile?
I think I was probably maybe like 14, something like that. How about you?
Mobiles were different when.
Well, this is it for us.
What was your first phone?
Oh, dude, do you remember Alcatel? Do you remember that company?
Yeah,
it was literally like one of those tiny little blue phones that had Snake on it.
Yeah.
Snake 2, and I remember being like, wow. But
so my
it was the cheapest in the store, that sort of thing. Yeah.
My first phone was a Nokia 3410.
Yes.
And I think I was in year 8 at school, so I was around sort of the 13, 14 mark.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, once again, like, you couldn't do anything on it. All you could do is call and text.
Different back then as well.
My parents just gave it to me so that if I ever, you know, sort of run into any trouble or...
I wonder if people... hopefully there's still ways of doing that. Like, surely I would stagger it still. And I wonder if parents still do that, where it's like...
Give them a shit phone.
Give them a shit phone, because at the same time, if they said, wow, my friend Amy's got this iPhone, I'll be like, deal with it. I would honestly be like, I don't care, because it's also social media, which we know is a huge stimulant for depression. Like, it's not going to be a good thing for you, so no, deal with it until you're maybe like 15, 16, I'd say. Probably 16, I'd say. Maybe then they can get into the world. Put themselves out there.
My hot take on this is that in our lifetime, definitely, and I'd say in the next sort of 10 to 15 years, there's going to be a real change on social media, mobile phones, all that kind of thing, and age restrictions and stuff like that. I really, really think they need to implore some age restrictions.
There's got to be something
on social media, because I agree with you.
Same on porn sites as well. Is literally, okay, I'm over 18. Like,
yeah, but there's always age restrictions on porn. There's been age restrictions on porn sites since I was like 14.
I mean, more so.
Yes, it's easy.
Is that what you mean? You think there's going to be more so of a
I think,
prohibiting?
Okay, so I think there needs to be like a real, you know, you shouldn't be able to access these things when you're that young. What the fuck is the point in you having a Facebook or Twitter or something when you're 12?
Especially,
no need for it.
I think the big one there is Twitter. Honestly, Twitter is full of a lot of people. Like we were saying, there's controversy around every corner, and that's the thing that actually gets looked at the most. That's the thing that gets the likes and the reshares, etc. You said this? I can't believe that.
I mean, when we were younger, I think we had something like Bieber and MySpace. And,
yeah, Bieber, I remember that.
You know, there wasn't this real thing of sending messages and sending sort of lewd materials to each other. It's just kind of like maybe, you know, speak to a friend or something like that. There's not much to it.
Yeah.
I genuinely feel like there's going to be a big. Something's got to give.
I think something's got to give as well. I think it'll be soon. I think it'll be before 2025, something like that. I think
reckon?
Honestly, it's coming. I think there's going to be either some kind of article passed through where they go, now we have to really do our checks on your IP or whatever, or it's just going to be some kind of, I guess, like so it's been this social media bubble for such a long time. And I told you about what they're doing with Instagram, where they're doing, no longer can people see the likes that they're getting for their posts, or that other people got there for their posts, which takes some massive potency out of it.
I like that.
It's a really good start.
Yeah.
And what's weird is my Instagram was made in Australia, so I've got that. Actually, I love it, because now I don't even give a shit what my posts are getting. I just know I'm putting this out there. Enjoy it if you want to.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be thinking. But the thing is, on Twitter especially, you get a lot of people, Joe Rogan went into this as well, was a lot of people are literally thinking, how are people going to like this? What do you think I'll get the likes? And there's an addiction to getting those likes as well, which is another thing entirely. So but that needs to be, I think that will be taken out of it. That's my next prediction.
There's
next
that
2
little,
years.
What is it? Is it serotonin?
That's it, yeah.
It's just that little sort of serotonin.
Little bit of it, yes, yeah.
In your brain.
Dopamine.
Yeah, you get that little sort of burst of dopamine in your brain.
Yeah.
You know, oh, someone's like this, oh, someone's retweeted this. And every time you get it, and then so you're searching for it. It
rewires your brain, it completely does. And then suddenly you think that's all you can think about. And you see people nowadays distracted beyond belief by their phone. They cannot think of anything else almost.
Can't stand it. It fucking annoys the hell out of me.
Well, some people, I think it gets to the point where even that vibration from their phone, which you know someone's interacting with you when you feel it, so that they can't not look at a message. Have you met people like that where they'll literally be talking to you and they'll get the phone out with that in a hurry and start replying?
Yeah.
And you're thinking, well, what we're doing is interacting, so what's the difference? But they're actually prioritising that. That's that little dopamine rush.
I would safely say about 75% of the time that I've got my phone, it is on silent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I literally, if you're calling me or something like that, like, you know, I'll probably pick up. But if I don't, like, my phone will be on silent most of the time, and I just
nobody can call Nathan. You won't get through to him.
I just, you know, especially if you're with someone. If you're with someone, just enjoy the time that you've got with that person. You're with them for a reason. If you're not with them for a reason, then fucking go.
Why are you there then?
Yeah, exactly. Just
if you want to be sat on your phone at home, go do that. That's fine. But don't put someone through it for that. Yeah. It's a weird one, dude. Anyway, other than that, I think I was just gonna moan about the football a little bit. It was Man U, Liverpool yesterday. Oh, it was just so painful. Just watching Liverpool very slowly but very assertively just dominate us. It was awful.
I feel like they're just running away with it.
Honestly, Salah took his top off at the end. They were celebrating like they just won the Premier League. They think they've got it. 16 points clear with a game in hand now.
I'm pretty positive that they've done it, and it's just kind
of... people don't know who we support. I support Man U, by the way. Stan supports Man U.
I'm not going to tell anyone.
Why? You're not proud of it? I wouldn't be proud of it.
I feel like it's a need to know basis. If you would like to know, please feel free to drop a comment and ask.
Slide into my DMs.
Do not slide into my DMs.
I won't be happy.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the league's a bit boring now, and I feel like one team's run away with it. It gets the same for me. Like, you know, if one team's like 20 or 30 points clear, oh fuck, it's boring. Just, honestly, I'm done with it, and it's just kind of like,
so fed up with it, isn't it?
Yeah. Just give me anything else.
Yeah. Well, this is it. It's happened in the last few seasons, hasn't it? Anyway, United are just having such bad luck with their injuries, man. Because now we've got Rashford injured as well. All our best players.
Oh no.
Awful. It was a very hard one for me to take. Anyway. So.
Well, why don't we wrap things?
Let's wrap up, guys. I'm sorry if we've rambled this time, but we've gone through our favourite music. It was just such a great week for music. I put this on our Facebook page as well. Mac Miller, his album, please check it out. Circles, honestly, you won't regret it.
And definitely try and check out some of my favourite cover tracks. So you had Arctic Monkeys, you know I'm no good, and you had N-Dubz with a man who can't be moved. And obviously you had Jimi Hendrix, Day to Remember, Nirvana. Don't forget about all them as well.
Please don't forget about Jimi Hendrix over all of these.
But yeah, so don't forget to like, share, subscribe to our channel, and yeah, just enjoy the rest of our content that we've got coming out.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks, guys.
And
bye.
we shall see you next week.
Ciao for now.
Ciao.